There is no shortage of major AAA titles on the Nintendo Switch lately, and some games that are just starting to blow up. Of course, you have your Mario Odysseys, your Mario Kart, your Zeldas, but we also have games like Octopath Traveler, which is actually one of the best-selling games on the Switch so far, and it's become very mainstream, and one of those games I'm very excited to see get a future, and I'm super stoked to see it selling so well. But with that said, there are a bunch of games, maybe eShop games or lesser-known physical games, that are also amazing, and games that you might be missing out on just because you don't know what they are, you don't know what they're all about. But I'm here as always, K-Mac time, today to tell you about 10 hidden gems on the Nintendo Switch. First up is an awesome little platforming game called Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap, which is actually, believe it or not, a remake from a Sega Master System game from way back in the 1980s. Anyway, it's been graphically built completely from the ground up for the Switch and newer generation systems, and it looks amazing. It plays great, handles great, and it's got great gameplay. But if you want to play it in the classic graphics, you can do it as well. You can switch back and forth between them on the fly. A super cool feature of this game. But it also, like I said, features great platforming, great puzzle solving, great action, and I just want to overall one of the better platformers on the Switch. And it's one that's worth picking up, especially at the super cheap price point. I think it's like $25, $30 used. So you can get yourself a copy of this pretty cheap at GameStop. It has a physical release, which is something I also really like, or you can get it on the eShop. If you're at all a fan of the classic Zelda games from the 16-bit era, then It'll Do 2 will be right up your alley. It's kind of a clone of the game, but it has its own spin and quirks, and it makes the game worth playing. And on top of that, it's absolutely beautiful, and the gameplay is top notch. As far as Zelda Clones go, this is one of the better ones. And again, it got a physical copy, which is something I'm huge into. Physical media, as you guys know, is something that means a lot to me. I like to have the games, and that's just my own spiel. But it also, again, is available on the eShop. It's a $30 game, brand new. So again, very good price here for a lot of gameplay, lots of hours. Storyline is very deep, rich, and it's very long. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck here, and especially if you're a fan of Zelda, this is one worth picking up. Next up is a platforming horror game, which is just a cool combination in itself, called Little Nightmares. Now, this actually came out on PS4 and other systems a while back, but it finally got a Switch version, and it's amazing, which is actually because it's the deluxe gold version or whatever they call it, and it comes with all of the DLC that was previously released on the other systems. So it's a good bundle for this, and the game is outstanding. I absolutely love this. You play like this little yellow hooded character running from all these giant monsters and having to puzzle and solve your way through their environments to try and stay alive. You have to eat things. It's absolutely creepy. The environments will have you like on your toes, creepy. It's a great game to put on at night when you want to turn off the lights, kind of get that scary vibe going, but at the same time, the gameplay and mechanics are still super fun. And again, a game you guys can get relatively cheap used. So again, a physical media game worth picking up, and I highly recommend this one. Next up is a really cool game called Axial Verge, which is more of a like Metroidvania type platforming adventure game, and it's just so beautiful. If you are a fan of Metroid or the Castlevania Symphony of the Night, this is simply a must play for you. The boss battles are absolutely beautiful. They'll challenge you, but they're still fair. The gameplay here, the mechanics are great. You find weapons, upgrade weapons, stuff like that. Absolutely amazing. And again, graphically, it's got that really cool old school feel to it, but still has that new school like also aesthetic to it where you can tell it's kind of HD. Anyway, this game plays and looks amazing, like I said, and if you're a fan of Metroid like me, then this is simply a must play. And again, a physical media of this did come out, and you can get it for around $30 new or $25 used at GameStop if you can find a copy used. Highly recommend picking this one up. Just loads of fun, especially a game to play while killing time in an airport, on a bus, something like that. Very fun game for something like that. Next up is a game that I absolutely played the heck out of on the GameCube back in the day. Is one of my all-time favorite shoot-'em-ups, and that is, of course, a Carrucha. Now, this game is a little bit pricier to find these days on the GameCube, and then, of course, you can't bring it with you. So the eShop version of this on the Switch makes so much sense, and it's a perfect price point, only $15. Unfortunately, there's not a physical version of this yet. As of now, hopefully they do it, fingers crossed, down the road, but as of now, downloading this to your Switch is a no-brainer, a perfect time-killing game, one of the best shoot-'em-up games of all time. The way that this game's mechanics work are freaking beautiful and smart. You absorb the bullets that are the same color as you, and then you have to switch back and forth between them, and you're just dodging a bullet hell while all concentrating your weapons on the giant, amazing boss battles. But like I said, a great little shooter here, perfect price point, and a game that you should absolutely have on your Switch. Our next game is just a little bit of an oddball here. It's got this hand-drawn stick type graphics. You may be wondering, what the heck is this? Well, it's called West of Loathing, and it's actually described as a comedy action RPG, and it's exactly what it is. It's downright hilarious. Now, get past the graphics, like I said, you get to this very deep, hilarious storyline, and the characters and the dialogues are so much fun that it'll have you laughing out loud. And on top of that, it's got very cool battle system here, and it's actually really well done. I enjoyed this game a lot, and for only $11 on the eShop, it's a really good deal. A great little time passer game if you're looking for a laugh, something to kind of relax with, you don't have to put too much effort into, but it's also got a very good storyline, and it'll have you gripped and it'll have you laughing as well. Something, a very interesting and unique experience on the Switch, and it's only $11 on the eShop. Unfortunately, no physical, but for $11, it's well worth it, and it deserves a spot on your Switch. Another game that people say is kind of like a Zelda clone or a Zelda spin-off is Yonder, and it's a very interesting little game on the Switch. Again, a game you can get for pretty cheap. It's about $30 on Amazon. That's a physical release, and it's right worth that price point, I believe. It's got lots of vibrant gameplay, and it's got this great expansive environments, and your character's cool, and it's got all the stuff you can do in it. You can be like a cook, or you can travel, and it's got this really deep storyline to it. It's very entertaining and gripping at times, and it'll leave you wondering for more, and it's just really a kind of an interesting little game here. It doesn't have really that much of a combat system at all, really, actually, but it's a game that I put a lot of time into, and I've been absolutely loving it lately, and it's a great game to have on the go, as everything on this list is pretty much. The Switch just lends itself well to games being played on the subway or in the backseat of a car, and it's a great game for that. Soak up a ton of hours of gameplay, and it'll have you wanting more at the end, and for that price point of $30, I think it's well worth it. One of the eShop games that I've put the most time into and I just come back to every day, it seems like, and play the hell out of, is called Enter the Gungeon, and this game is outstanding. It's a bullet hell roguelike shooter with a pretty freaking awesome storyline, and it's just so much fun. You can do all kinds of crazy combos. There's lots of interesting and really challenging boss battles, and just getting through these stages is a task at times, and it's just one of those games, if you die, you don't feel cheated by it. You just want to get back up and play it again and again and again and try and beat it, and it's just so much fun. But the best part about this is the game is actually on sale right now for, get this, $7.50 on the Nintendo eShop. That is an absolute steal for a game as good as this one, and I highly recommend you get out there and try this one out. It's such a great little hidden gem. You will not be disappointed if you're a fan of these kind of twin stick kind of roguelike shooters, and this is one of the best I've ever played. Another game that I found absolutely outstanding, it was very cheap on the Nintendo eShop, is called Atomic Run Gun Jump Gun, and it's just a crazy game. It's a 2D platformer where you do exactly as the title says. You run, gun, jump, and gun, and you use your gun to get better jumps and jump over obstacles, and it just leads to all these crazy things you can do in the game, and the platforming in it is outstanding, and just super interesting gameplay, something unique in a platformer that I haven't really seen before. And for $8, it's definitely a game worth checking out, and not too many people are talking about this game, but it's one that I put a lot of time into, and again, a great time killer game, and one that I would highly recommend, especially for that low price of $8. Unfortunately, no physical release as of yet, but $8 is $8, and it's one that's worth checking out. And our final game on the list today is called Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon, and this, if you're a fan of old school Castlevania games, is an absolute must play. It is outstanding. That old school Castlevania, Metroidvania kind of feel to it. Love this type of game. The platforming and the battle systems are great. The boss is there. The storyline's very gripping, very interesting storyline as well. And this game is just really well put together for this kind of genre. You don't really see a whole lot of these games anymore, this type of stuff, but when you do, it's super fun. And this one is done amazing. It's just one of the better games I've played out there. Unfortunately, no physical release as of yet. $9.99 on the eShop. But if you're a fan of Metroid or Metroidvania type games, then this is a must for you. It's such a great time. I've had a ton of fun playing with this one. This one maybe not as much as a hidden gem as some of the other ones. It's kind of popular in circles, but I thought I'd mention it anyway to anyone that hasn't heard about it. It's definitely worth picking up, definitely worth trying out. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for today. 10 games that you may not know about that you should check out on your Nintendo Switch. Let me know down in the comments down below what games you think I should try out that I haven't tried before. Some hidden gems, let me know. Also, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this in your sub box. Make sure to hit that little bell button to get all the notifications to your sub notifications as well. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out. Jump right in.